Fans are losing their minds on social media. Animator Kenichirô Aoki wrote a pretty lengthy statement talking about the anime industry. So let's read it. Using amateur animators is based on the premise that they can draw well, as long as they follow the company's animation production methods and properly handle revisions to match that, it should be fine, right? You have to teach them, but once you do, they become animators who will fight alongside you. So I think you can build a really good relationship. The problem is you, the one who calls themselves an animator, but draws multiple keyframes of characters that are just basic body templates, ignoring proportions and settings, and doesn't pick up on the second keyframes. So yeah, it does look like Aoki was more or less going on a mini rant, complaining about amateur animators not sticking to the principles of animation. Now, I know Aoki does not even mention One Punch Man Season 3 in this statement. It's very interesting seeing an animator criticize other animators, mainly amateur animators, who do very crude, rough drawings when working on an animation. Now, I know he may not be talking about the One Punch Man Season 3 situation, but with the amount of art and animation errors in that episode, one does wonder if some of what he is saying can be linked to One Punch Man Season 3 Episode 6. But how does this all link back to One Punch Man Season 3? Why am I bringing Aoki's X tweet? Well, it's because of this manga versus anime post that has gone viral on social media, getting millions upon millions upon millions of views and a lot of angry fans in the comment section. But why? Well, if you zoom in onto Atomic Samurai's ponytail, notice how the top half of his ponytail is sliced, which is pretty faithful to what the manga panel was. As you can see here, the border completely cuts off that ponytail, and of course it works in the manga because that is the framing of that shot. But in the anime, oh my goodness, what an embarrassing error right here. Not only is this anime shot traced, but they even made the drawing worse. This Reddit thread is currently blowing up and a lot of people are absolutely dumbfounded by this mistake in the episode. Let's read what they have to say. This has to be one of the most genuinely unbelievable things I have ever seen watching anime. I literally have no words for how absurd this is. This is probably the worst thing I have seen this season. Just pretend this doesn't exist, guys. It almost feels embarrassing to be a One Punch Man fan at this point. It's amazing how much they managed to make the episodes look worse week after week. I am starting to think that JC Staff made this season bad on purpose. One of the best and most popular manga of all time ruined by a poo company. Not gonna lie, I was one of the people who said let it cook, it's all good, it's a mistake, but after seeing multiple things and a rewatch, this is the worst animation I have ever seen in an anime. Bandai Namco and JC Staff don't care, One Punch Man anime is doomed. Yep, a lot of people are not happy. There are comments upon comments with hundreds of likes of other One Punch Man fans, more or less in agreement that Bandai Namco and JC Staff are fumbling the bag with One Punch Man Season 3. Look, I understand Bandai Namco are the ones who more or less give JC Staff the scheduling, but oh my goodness, were they that rushed that they couldn't even pan up this still frame of Atomic Samurai in the anime so that his top half isn't shown? It honestly wouldn't have taken more than a couple of seconds to do. It's animation errors like this that absolutely ruin the reputation of One Punch Man Season 3, because people will look at these type of animation errors and be like, you know what, I'm not gonna check out that One Punch Man Season 3. I think I will give it a pass. So going back to Aoki's X tweet, while he did not mention One Punch Man Season 3 in it, it is very interesting how he releases this X tweet a couple of hours later after the viral controversial Atomic Samurai scene. Because just like he said in his X tweet, this shot of Atomic Samurai and the majority of Season 3 Episode 6 of One Punch Man has basic body templates, ignore proportions and settings, and don't pick up on second keyframes, because there are barely any keyframes. And I am not the only one making this comparison to One Punch Man, as a lot of people in the comment section under his X tweet are also talking about One Punch Man and how disappointing the episode was, as well as the majority of season 3. You even have some people in the comment section assuming that he is beefing with Shinpai Nagai's choice of direction. The One Punch Man season 3 episode 6 has a rating of 2.4 out of 10, a dramatic decrease from yesterday's rating, and oh my goodness, the Rotten Tomatoes is now sitting at a 6%. Looking at these terrible ratings, I can't imagine anyone who is new to One Punch Man continuing the series after season 2, because what do you mean that One Punch Man season 3 episode 6 is the lowest anime episode of all time? That is absolutely abhorrent. I just can't even imagine why people are supporting this absolutely disappointing season. The fact that the 10 out of 10 score is the third highest score is just wild to me. Unless you are a manga reader and really enjoy the story of One Punch Man, I can't even imagine anyone rating this episode more than 5. Toxic positivity does as much damage to the One Punch Man brand as toxic negativity, which is why I am so dumbfounded to find out that a lot of Japanese fans are supporting the production committee and are hating on the Western fans, getting hundreds and hundreds of likes by other Japanese fans of One Punch Man season 3, saying that the boycott is absolutely dumb and that the fans need to support JC staff and Bandai Namco and the production committee, give their money to them and end the boycotting. I somewhat get what they were saying, but still, it's kind of wild to see the responses from the Japanese fans saying we need to support the production committee and that One Punch Man season 3 is fine in their eyes. In my opinion, seeing all of these Japanese X comments getting hundreds of likes more or less defending Bandai Namco and JC staff, I think is going to do more damage to the brand. Because at the end of the day, the Japanese studios will listen to the Japanese audiences first. They don't care what the Western fans think about all of this. Bandai Namco will read the Japanese comments first, and the fact that they are all praising Bandai Namco and defending them, Bandai Namco will be like, you know what? I think we're doing a good job. Let's continue the slideshow. And season 4 and beyond will get even worse and worse and worse. Overall, my gosh, the One Punch Man season 3 production is absolutely toast. The animation errors, the lack of animation, the art being very hit and miss. All of this is resulting in all the ratings just dropping lower and lower and lower. But you know, despite all of that, I am still very curious to see what One Punch Man season 3 episode 9 will end up looking like. If that episode does not have stellar art and animation, especially after the producer hyping that episode up, then the fan backlash will just intensify and just get worse. But who knows, we just got to wait and see. Tell me in the comments down below, what do you guys think of all of this? Do you like or dislike One Punch Man season 3's art and animation? Tell me. Like this video, subscribe for more One Punch Man videos, as well as other anime news updates, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns, rankings, and more. Thank you for watching. The Second Boy Dude signing out.